This week on the Rental Report Review. Who are seconds? The answer is almost too terrifying for words. Seconds, 1966. If there was $1 to be made, Gantry would make it. If there was a soul to be saved, Gantry would save it. Elmer Gantry, 1960. Returning to the village where he killed a much-admired opponent, Zatoichi encounters another swordsman and a former rival in love. The tale of Zatoichi continues, 1962. Only a woman's heart could reach out for such a man. Where the Sidewalk ends, 1950. The Beach of Terror, Nightmare Beach, 1989. Let's start at the top. The cinematography of this is, as they say, is a tour de force. This is a tour de force that defines tour de force. 1966, Frankenheimer and James Wong Howe are running out of the studio into the real world. This is proper handheld. Still framing, still communicating text, subtext, cinematically revealing, discomforting, entrancing. It's a tour de force.
Seconds.
Hand in glove with the story. I didn't know what to expect. I don't even know that I expected Rock Hudson. I certainly didn't expect such a layered Rock Hudson, but I guess I'm quite guilty here of holding the pigeon. I almost don't want to talk about anything plot and story. Ignorance might well be bliss. But I'll just say it's a sci-fi adjacent identity parable. Even with the premise, I bet you're guessing the guessing game. I did, and still managed to be thoroughly surprised and deviously delighted.
As soon as these people leave, I'm going to attack you.
I give Seconds 1966 4.5 stars.
I'm counting on it.
Rock Hudson, as a man who lives the nightmare of being a second.
There is a very clear and present queer reading of this film with Rock Hudson, the text of queer reading. The protagonal center of mass, struggling with his veiled existence. There's also a postmodern deconstructionist critique of the bourgeois managerial class, but the film escapes their gravity and tarries beyond with the terrifying prospect of being unknown. In a curious bout of synchronicity, this is the very same year as one of my favorite films of all time, Top 10-ish, and also sci-fi horror Kissing Cousin, The Face of Another. I'm guessing there was something in the air, and everyone probably a little haunted by Eyes Without a Face. This was likely etched into Gilliam, Fincher, Lynch, Boyle, Park.
Elmer Gantry is coming! Elmer Gantry is an all-American boy. He's interested in money, sex, and religion.
I am here for Burt Lancaster. I came here for Burt Lancaster. A face I've seen hovering around the video stores since there were video stores. A presence in Hollywood's greatest clip shows, the most influential movie shows, all that. But he never pulled me in. I think I thought he was too wholesome. I mean, you look at a box cover like this, and 8 to 24-year-old me just says, pass, I'll come back. And he's now become one of my favorite actors of all time. I mean, not just for his acting, his performance style, which is nothing if it's not strikingly theatrical, but in a naturalistic way.
What the hell's the big idea? You really think I want to sit still for a shakedown?
Baby, how could I put this
The old badger game, huh?
You know this type of guy. He's physical, works with his whole body across the whole frame, and knows how to hold it tight and bottled, and hold it behind the eyes. It's all that, the passion, but it's the roles he picks. They're not only complicated, whatever that means, full, I guess, more appropriately. They're in conversation with their time. Here in 1960, as a post-war disillusionment is settling in, at least for some, the white middle class. I'm talking about the white middle class here. And there is a renewed suspicion of populist, covertly authoritarian figures. And a scrambling, a growing fervor to grasp at meaning beyond the material. But are we actually severed from that layer? Have we always been? That's a crazy thing to dramatize with this lame a cover. What is this lame shit? I give Elmer Gantry The Forest 4 stars.
Is it a circus sideshow complete with freaks, magic, and rabble-rousing?
Richard Brooks undoubtedly knows his way around a masterpiece or two. This might be my favorite one so far. I just watched A Face in the Crowd. I know I like this better.
And you're no good to me.
Jean Smart. How was she in this and Spartacus the same year? I mean, I think she's better in this. This is a better movie than Spartacus. I love her in this. She plays her preacher with very, very convincing justifications. You know, I think it's how she lets go of her expressions and thoughts, I think. She gets very present. She's essential for this film. This makes me want to rewatch The Master. I feel like the two complement each other in a way that fulfills some of the unfulfilledness I feel in each. They kind of wander in similar places but different ways, or different places in similar ways. I think they complete not a thought, but round out an examination. Anyway, more Lancaster ahead. Any favorites? I need to clear this up top. He's not carrying a shirasaya. That's just a sheath. It's an encasement for transporting a blade, for sometimes a stolen blade. Zatoichi carries a shikomizue, a blade disguised as a cane. But also, it's funny that it's not really disguised secret. It's almost always immediately found out. See, this is the central metaphor of the character, of the series, right? There's probably a dramatic term for it, but I'm quite misdis and uneducated. Zatoichi is an outwardly simple, humble, dependable guy, unassuming, if not dismissible at first glance. But a honed, razor-sharp wit and talent, see where I'm going here? Hides just underneath, but also disadvantaged. Obviously no hilt, it's not curved to draw quicker, the smooth grip. It requires unbelievable speed and dexterity and cunning. You get it. Double for the story. What's not to love? For 26 installments. I give The Tale of Zatoichi Continues 3.75 stars. I don't know nearly nothing about the production of these films. At least some are adapted from a serialized source novel. I can guess that based off the success of the first film, I'm assuming that was successful, the Tale of Zatoichi, a follow-up was ordered post-haste to table set for the series to come. But even with some minor retreading, almost more of an appendix postscript to the first, what it did retread, it did so to add depth and establish what feels like an animating force for Zatoichi, a story engine, as they say. But the secret, but unignorable co-star of this one is the score by Ichiro Saito. Period, contemporary, melodic, experimental, concrete. Score close to 200 films, I guess you did good.
You're a relentless manhunter, Mark Dixon.
Otto Preminger, never afraid to wade into a sticky topic situation, rolls him up to take on the marginal life of a semi-crooked cop, the one who cuts corners because he knows what's really going on, where it's really going, who's really at fault here, the one who might toss a few perps around and violate some yet-to-be-elucidated reminder of rights. Because you gotta make a point, and maybe you gotta send a message, and maybe you gotta stir the pot and drive out the rats. The whole city's crooked anyway, right?
Nobody's blaming you. You killed Morrison, and you killed Payne. And I'm going to get a statement out of you. Outside you, Lugs. He's going to talk.
And then Jean Tierney walks in. Maybe she's not totally clean. Knows the inside. Outside, street side, table side, bedside, iron sight. Maybe her default expression is melancholia. And maybe when her eyes light up, she guides your waylaid heart home. This is a horrible roller coaster slip down a hole of bad decisions and some good old chance luck. I give Where the Sidewalk Ends 3.75 stars. I don't know how to read Dana Andrews yet. Who was he? There's something distant about him, and not a shallow distance either, and a desperate need of something. Maybe a drink. The internet says he was mostly professional functioning alcoholic.
Where the sidewalk ends.
That is a private struggle. Curious. are some movies you put on at 6 p.m. and no earlier. Movies you only put on after dark, some not until 9:30, 11 p.m., and there are some movies you stay up for at 2 a.m. The one that plays after the last comedy show of the night, and then after the racy hard R movie, the one that might make you think, might challenge you a little. Then there's the 2 a.m. movie. It's time to laugh and jerk and bathe in the blood of the not-so-innocent.
Welcome to spring break, the annual migration of the idiots.
The tragedy of Nightmare Beach is that it presents as, it signals and advertises a 2 a.m. movie, but soft pedals it as an 11 p.m.er that's really kind of almost a 9:30er.
Hey, biker parking only. Get a grip. Chill. Look, we don't want any trouble, all right?
It has just about everything working for it. Kinda. Premise, resurrected, executed biker, out for more, possibly. Locale, Miami spring break. I mean, it's Florida. Horn, scantily clad beefcakes and babes. The vibes are off, though. Thrill kill crazy biker maniacs, smashing faces and vandalizing property and taking on a cultish general vibe. Yeah, kinda. This film kinda's its way into the middle of the road. Almost, dare I say, God forbid, mainstream? Commercial? I give Nightmare Beach 2.5 stars. I'm being mean, but 12-year-old me is now bummed and blued. He has to wait until the 3:45 movie, metaphorically speaking.
This is yours. You sold an officer with a deadly weapon. That's cause to blow your fucking pretty head off.
But I'm also not being catty. By the very rules and expectations and expositional dialogue it lets out, it fails its own conditions.
You killed my friend.
It just feels like a lot of bets were hedged. For reasons I can't see outside of fear of being too cool? I don't know. Now I need to go find a good 2 a.m. movie. This week, my weekly pick of the week is, I almost talked myself into Elmer Gantry, but it only took a split second of the opening frames of this film to know it would be the pick to beat this week. Seconds. I thought it meant time. This week's bonus feature is, as you now know, I was a bit indecisive, but I wrote my way back to Elmer Gantry. It's deeper than I thought before I thought about it. I will need to come back to this one. Thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on Instagram and X to see what movies I'm renting next, and pretty much everything is on my letterbox. I am going to go watch some more movies. I hope you do too. Very well.